All right, Diego, what do you got for me today?
Check this one out.
ZARA Origins Black Tea. This is 45 Canadian, 40 US. So this looks to be a double knit, 100% cotton, made in Portugal. It's part of their ZARA Origins line, which is supposed to be their elevated line. So ZARA is actually a part of Inditex Group, which includes brands like Poland Bear, Massimo Dutti, Stradivarius, Bershka, and a bunch of other ones. So looking at the care label, I can see they have an RFID in here. This is actually starting to be a very common practice with a lot of retail brands. This is for asset tracking as well as loss prevention. So at the store level, you're gonna be able to walk through the store with an RFID gun, and they're gonna see what inventory they do have and what inventory has been stolen. So when I look at this shirt itself, I would say this is not a true black. So let's dive into colors a little bit. When you have a fashion brand, you're gonna be looking at something called Pantone colors or Color Row colors. That's how you're gonna specify what color the fabric will be dyed. When I look at black itself, when you're looking at Pantone colors, there's gonna be something called Pantone TCX, which is specific for cotton. And when you're looking at something that's considered the darkest black, you're either looking at jet black or anthracite. So let's take a look at this black in comparison. For that, we're gonna use a tool called the Pantone Capture. It's a digital eye that looks at the fabric and it's actually gonna check what the closest Pantone color is. Using the Pantone Capture, it's giving me the color Stretch Limo, which happens to be on the same color card. As you can see, there's 8 different shades of black on this color card. When it comes to actual fabric itself, there's dozens of different shades of black. Looking at that, it's coming up as Stretch Limo, which is this 19-4005. What we do next at Shift Fashion Group is we actually analyze the color further. We use a tool called the color spectrometer. And what that does is it analyzes color in the LEB color space. I'll do a completely separate video on that. But let's just take a look at jet black here, which is 19-0303. So that gives me an LEB reading of 20, -36. So we've taken the standard of what would be considered jet black, and let's actually take a reading of the shirt itself. So when we actually take a look at the color spectrometer readings, this shirt in comparison to jet black is gonna be lighter, can be a little bit more red and a little bit more blue, which you can kind of see even when you're doing a visual test. So now that you know a little bit more about color, let's try this on before we tear it down. Okay, so when we're actually looking at the fit here, we did an H&M shirt previously. This definitely fits a lot better. It's more of a fashionable cut. I would say the fabric is a lot softer as well. Overall, in terms of more of a relaxed fit tee, it fits pretty nice. All right, so now that we've tried the fit, let's see what the GSM is and let's do a tear down. All right, so this is 255 GSM, which is gonna be slightly on the heavier side. Before we cut this up, let's flip this inside out and take a look at the workmanship. See here on the sleeve, they flipped the fabric over and did a cover stitch. Yeah, I would say, you know, at a shirt this price point, there's nothing really screaming at me in terms of workmanship. So let's cut it up and see how this shirt's made. There you have it. These are all the components you need to make this shirt. You have your care labels, you have your cotton neck tape, you have your neck ribbing, you have your front panel, your back panel, and your arm panel. So now that we've done the teardown, let's recap. This is a 100% cotton tee that is 255 GSM, made in Portugal. I'm willing to bet this is not pre-shrunk, so just keep in mind when you do wash it, it's going to shrink 5%. And I know when it comes to the Inditex Group, they're based in Spain, but they have factories pretty much right on the border in Portugal where they're able to benefit from lower wage costs. So I would say it would cost us, the Shift Fashion Group, if we were making these at this volume in Portugal, probably between $7 and $8. So knowing all that, at $40, if you're looking for something that's not just your basic tee with something with a little bit more style, I wouldn't say this price is too crazy, but just be aware that this is most likely not pre-shrunk because they would have marketed it as pre-shrunk. So there you have it. This is what it costs.